Hi there. In this video, I'm going to share with you some guidelines about the lab questions that you will find it at the end of every chapter. And not only to do well in the assignments and the exams, but also to know the techniques of how to do the data analytics. So I encourage you from the beginning of the semester to spend more time on the lab questions because all of them are hands-on questions that will help you to do the impact model and really master the data analytics. So let us go through these notes that might be helpful for you when you do the lab questions. For example, the first one, it's an easy question, so I skip it. So I'm starting from lab 1-1. So I skipped lab 1-0 because it's very simple. You can do it at your own. The lab 1-1, which is data analytics in financial accounting, it is asking about running simple analysis on any company using XBRL taxonomy on how to download the data and run very simple analysis on the company. So what you can see on the screen now, it's been actually get from the textbook. Talks about Apple company. So it shows you the ticker of the company. It shows you the years that are presented in this report here, and very simple information like sales, cost of goods sold, gross profit. And in this lab question, it's asking about 3 items. Number 1, what are the questions we need to address in this financial statement? And I put here 3 simple questions. Has the current ratio increased over the last 3-4 years? The second one, what was the rate of the increase or the decrease of the gross profit since the prior year? The last question is, how about the debt to equity ratio? Was it increased or decreased over the last 4 years? So as we said in the impact model, we need to identify the question. So if we talk about profitability, the current ratio, the gross profit, the debt to equity ratio might help to give you an idea about the profitability of the company. Second, we need to master the data. So what shall we do? Here I'm showing you how to download the data through XBRL viewer. So you can use here the web link, open the recent US GAAP all taxonomy, then navigate through the statements and click on an account. The XBRL tag is in the property pane next to the name. And then you use the XBRL tag. Remember, it uses camel case, not a snake. Camel case, it means it doesn't leave spaces between the words, but it uses it as one word. Let me explain it again. So here in this one, financial facts, you see it says sales revenue net. It's one word, but each word starts with a capital letter, but that doesn't leave spaces or underscore between them. And also cost of goods sold and services sold, you can see it looks like one word, but each word starts with capital letter. So this is what we mean in XBRL, it uses camel case. If you get an error when your tag doesn't load data, then it's likely that the company you chose use a different tag, so you can go back and do it. So you can do it from XBRL, or you can do it also from Google account. If you get access to the Connect, then you log on with your Google account, go to File, make copy, and then use the XBRL formula. So step 1 is ask the question. Step 2, get the data. And step 3, try to come up with hypothesized answers. So for example, if I go back here to the questions, you say, what are the current ratio? So you might say, well, based on the numbers I see, the current ratio has increased or decreased over the last 3-4 years. and the gross profit increased or decreased. So you come up here with hypothesized answer for the question, which will help you to make the analysis and try to predict what's going on. When you collect the data, you need to identify the fields that will help you to get the right analysis. Now, let us go to the second lab question, which it says data analytics in managerial accounting. So the prior one talks about financial accounting, where we talk about profitability. This one talks about managerial accounting. And here again, we need to identify the appropriate questions, and identify appropriate question, develop a hypothesized answer. So for example, we might ask, does the customer have many credit accounts or a few credit accounts? Second, how long is the employment time of the customer? Third, how long will the customer pay back the loan? So I'm just mentioning this as guidelines. You don't have to go for these questions specifically, but try to identify the right questions. Then you try to master the data by getting the right data. So here you identify the fields and value in the database, and then you start by downloading the data, ask the question, find the answers, and try to get the right fields. So for example, finding the hypothesized answer, you said, well, customers are likely have many credit accounts. And then you say, what are the fields I need to collect to make this answer? For example, you can get the customer's member number, the number of the credit account a customer might have, the customer total available credit. So you ask the question, try to hypothesize the answer, try to collect the data that will help you to validate your answer. The third problem talks about data analytics in auditing. So here you can read the lab scenario in the textbook and then do the same. Try to develop the question. So for example, I wrote here some notes like, how long will it take from receiving sales order to shipment me? Because it talks about authorization of the orders. So how long does it take between getting the order and shipping the goods? Second question might be, what is the percentage of error to total shipment? So you need to identify this issue. How long will it take from sending sales invoice to opening accounts receivable? So try to come up with similar questions that might be helpful to identify the issue. Then you come up with hypothesized answer. For example, good internal control should take 1 to 3 days from receiving the sales order to make the shipment. So this could be an answer. And then how do we collect the data to validate this answer? Well, the sales order date, the shipment date, the sales order ID, the shipment ID, and so on. So by doing this, you will be able to identify the question, master the data, and run the analysis. I hope you find these notes useful for you. And if you need any help, please don't hesitate to reach out to me by email, and I will give you further explanation. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.